NewsRme. Zelensky says that the fate of Ukrainian independence will depend on how harsh the winter is. Russia launched a war of aggression in Ukraine earlier this winter. Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country's fate will depend on what happens in the harsh winter ahead. In his speech Saturday night, Zelensky said 3 harsh winter months would determine Ukraine's future after more than 30 years of independence from the communist USSR. This is the worst winter for everyone on Earth. Russia is doing everything it can to break the resistance of Ukraine, Europe, and the world in the next 90 days of this winter. This is Russia's last argument because this is what it wants, Zelensky said. In the next 90 days, the future of Ukraine's independence for more than 30 years will be decided. More decisions will be made in 90 days than in years of the European Union. Winter will decide our future. Zelensky called on his country's allies, in particular, to do all they could to protect Ukraine's airspace from Russian attacks on businesses and infrastructure that angered Ukrainians. "We can make it so that after 90 days, it's easier to see how to win," he said. Industry and infrastructure that provide people with heat and electricity can and will be targeted by Russian missiles, Zelensky said. "We already send electricity to our neighbors, which helps them get rid of dirty energy from Russia. We can easily increase the amount of electricity we can send to at least 2.5 gigawatts and more. But for that to happen, the Russian military has to leave the area around the Zaporizhzhia NPP. It will be. It's the most important thing for Europeans now, just before winter." In January, Russia started to deploy forces around Ukraine's northern and western borders, and on February 24, 2022, Russia launched an offensive against Ukraine. Since then, both sides have suffered significant losses. This comprises Ukrainian citizens, foreign combatants, military personnel, and more than 52,000 Russians. Russia did not capture Kiev, Lviv, or Odessa, but they did capture most of eastern Ukraine. Much of Donbas Oblast, which includes Luhansk, Severodonetsk, Donetsk, and Mariupol, is controlled by Russia. In 2014, they occupied the Crimean Peninsula. Russia also captured the large cities of Kherson and Melitopol in the south, gradually moving towards Odessa and the region of Transnistria in the southwest, near the border with Moldova. But Ukraine launched a counteroffensive to take back the occupied territories. Zelensky promised that Ukraine would also regain control of Crimea.